Let's pull up my notes. Hey everyone, we hope you guys are doing well. I'm going to let Diamond start off.
Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Thank you guys so much for joining us for another week of our No More Getting It Out the Mud challenge. If you're new here and you're not sure what that challenge is, we talk about different ways that we collaborate to basically build a better life for ourselves economically, even in our families, in our communities, to have impact, income, and legacy. So tonight we're going to be talking about how to get high limit credit cards, but also not only just getting high limit credit cards, but how you can leverage those credit cards and leverage those things to actually make money for you. So we'll be giving you some different ways to do that. One of the ways, if you tuned in last week, that we talked a lot about was field inspections. And so if the field inspections was something that interests you all, I did drop a video today that breaks it all down, and I take you with me on what a day in the life of a field inspector looks like. And it's something that you could be getting paid $15 all the way up to $100 per inspection, just depending on those inspections. And if you're interested in how to get into that as a newbie, I break it down in that video. So I'm going to drop the link for you guys there. But welcome in, and please, as we again are talking about collaboration, one thing that we want you guys to do is share this video. Also give it a like, give it a thumbs up, comment. All of these things in this engagement allows us to get this out to more people. And so now I'm going to pass it off to Sherry.
Hey, good evening. I see everybody coming in. Rob G, thank you for joining me. You always support the video. Everyone that's coming out, I see Houston, Chicago, Kansas City, Tennessee, I saw. So thank you, everyone. Connecticut coming in. We appreciate each and every one of you. And tonight we are going to talk about how to get larger credit lines and credit card limits. Now, this is not for you to get in debt. Please understand that. The reason why I'm saying that, because a lot of your credit troubles can be in the fact that you don't have large enough credit lines, because if you have smaller $300 lines or even $500 lines, a lot of you guys find yourself in that cycle where you could barely use that card, and you'll see your utilization go rapidly up if you carry a balance, and your score to go down. So getting larger lines of credit is important because it does help you maintain a higher credit score. And we're going to talk about funding on how to make money. So the reason why you need larger lines, where me and Diamond's going to talk about it, if you want to leverage that to go into business, if you want to go over to business credit, they generally have you start off PG, meaning personal guaranteeing these credit lines. These business credit lines, the majority of the time, do not report to your personal credit whatsoever. Diamond have business credit lines, and so do I. So you can get it for your LLC, and there's ways that you can get it in your own personal name, but it does not report to your personal credit. But the reason why you need these larger credit lines, because banks don't want to approve you if they first don't see that you made a requirement of getting at least bare minimum a $5,000 credit line in your own personal name. So if you ever want to move forward over to that business credit side, that is a requirement. So you want, the reason why the banks first, when you want to go into business credit, why they require you to have, especially major banks. Now, there is a caveat. There's a lot of new fintech companies that if you're a person with trouble credit, but you are in business and you have enough cash flow coming in, they will just look at the business because you are making money. But a lot of people is not in that position. Okay. They don't really have an active business going on. So they're trying to get access to business credit lines in order to help support and start their business. So, in that case, when you're going to banks, major banks, they want to see that you know how to maintain your own personal financial life. That's why it's important for you not to have bankruptcies. Usually that's a no go. Or they want a 680 credit score and above. They don't want to see any negative charge offs, items within the last 2 years, or late payments. And they want to see that $5,000 and up lines of credit because they know it takes a period of time for you to grow those credit lines to that amount to get there, right? So usually it takes 6 months every time you can even have the opportunity to ask for a credit line increase. And many of times it take years, but there are strategies where you can bump yourself up, which we're going to talk about tonight. So our main focus is how are we going to do that if currently right now I have a $300 credit line and I have trouble credit. I'm at a 600 credit score, 580 credit score. How should I move forward? Number one, you want to know if your credit score is in that range. Why is it in that range? There's a reason. So there's factors to your credit. Payment history 35%, utilization is 30%, a huge chunk of your credit score. Those two categories make up 65% of your credit score. Then you have age of credit, 15%. Then you have mix of credit, which is 10%. So they want to see how do you handle different types of credit accounts like installment loans, like your car loans, and credit cards in different kinds of credit mix. And then they want to see new inquiries, because if you have a ton of new inquiries, it makes you look desperate, that you're in a tight financial situation and you're looking for credit. And believe it or not, banks don't want to give you money when you primarily need it. Okay. Yeah, you figure that one out. But that they don't want to give you money and loan you money when you're desperate. So the last thing you need to go to your bank and say, hey, if I don't get this money, my business is going to shut down. It's going to be a hard no. Or I'm unemployed. I just lost my job. And so I need this money. No, they're not going to do that, because that signals to them, you probably not going to pay me back. You're not in that position. So we want to avoid presenting ourselves to the banks. I encourage that you guys educate yourself on this information, because a lot of people, this is counterintuitive. Like, well, why the heck would I be pulling up at the bank if I ain't need the money? And that's like a natural thing. Why, like, I come to you because I need money. No, they want to hear if you're going for business, that business is well. I'm trying to grow my business. A business is doing awesome. I'm trying to expand. I'm trying to get new equipment. They want to hear those types of languages. They want to say, hey, I'm coming to buy a home. I'm in a good financial situation. They don't want to hear, hey, I lost my job and, I don't know, man, if I don't got this money, I'm going to get evicted. They don't. That's not how they want to do that. So you want to first find out why your credit score is low. So we want to start there. So you need to access and also consistently monitor your credit so we can understand, well, why is your credit score low? Because that's going to open up your opportunities, number one, to where you need to go to apply for these credit lines is very important. So if you're a person that has trouble with Synchrony Bank and you currently have a collection, we don't want to go to any places where Synchrony Bank underwrite those credit lines, like the Walmart credit card right now is underwritten by Synchrony Bank. You might not know that. So you go over there and apply for credit, and you already have a credit card that is in default with them or a charge off state, we don't want to go to them applying for credit. So you want to know what's currently reporting on your credit report and why your credit score is low. Monitoring your credit, and then you want to work on improving your credit. So if you have things that's hitting you late every month, like a charge off, sometimes that don't happen. Okay. So if you have a charge off or a collection, if it hits your credit and it's not reporting every month late, like CO or a C, your scores start to go up in 90 days. I have seen people like that with a 725 credit score, believe it or not. And guess what? Your credit score heal. But what these companies been doing lately is boom, hitting you with a late payment every month because they know that. And they're trying to keep your score down to force you to pay that account where your life doesn't go forward. So that can be an issue for you right now. If you know that, hey, I do know I do have a collection account, I do know I have a charge off, go and review that charge off or collection if your score haven't been going up. Go and see, is it hitting you every month? And then you need to dispute that. If they're doing that with a collection, that is a violation of the Fair Credit Reporting Act. It's a collection. It's not a anticipated payment because it's a collection account. So that you can dispute for reporting every month. Charge offs, it's a little different case by case situation, but many times with them, you can come at it. Hey, if it's already in charged off status, how are they expecting, even though this is that original creditor, but if it's charged off, how can they keep reporting it late? When you charged it off, how do you have an expectation of a monthly payment coming through when you already charged off the account? So that can be a way to attack it. But we have to stop that from reporting late every month. So you want to dispute that. Now, if you need help trying to figure that out, Diamond's going to drop the link this month. I do have some time on my schedule, so I will be doing credit consultations if you need help one-on-one. And so we'll drop that link. So if you need to figure that out, we can do that. If you're already a member of the elite credit system, you guys, it's highly discounted for you. And she's going to give you guys a code. Okay. So please email us. Diamond, do you have more details for that?
Yes, so please, if you are already an elite member, we have a discount code for you. So all you need to do is when you go to the elite credit system, you always have our support email at the bottom. Please go to that support email because, of course, we got to verify that you're in the system. And if you are looking for a one-on-one, because we do have group coaching, but a lot of people want one-on-ones yet and still. So it's going to be discounted, very, very special discount for you guys that are already members. So just email us and tell us that you want a one-on-one. For everybody else, that's not in the elite credit system, we do have limited spots open because we have so much demand and so many people always asking for coaching. And so we're only leaving a couple spots open for the next couple of weeks, and you guys can book through the link that is in the comment section, excuse me, and in the description box when you guys finish watching this video if you're watching on the replay.
Thank you, Diamond. And so, with this, the next step, once we identify what your problem is and why your score is low, we want to focus on getting you lines of credit. Okay. What is your best means of attack? Now, the reason why you want to know what your issue is like I said earlier, if you have a charge off with a bank, we want to avoid them like the plague. Okay. And we want to go with your highest credit score. We don't want to go with if you have TransUnion, for instance, because a lot of you guys see this going on right now with your credit report. TransUnion just may be lower, like a 580 credit score, but you might be at a 650, 660 with Experian or Equifax, or maybe even a 680 with Equifax. So we want to go to banks that pull exclusively from Equifax. In your case, we don't want to go to the Apple Card, who's currently being underwritten by I believe they're Goldman and Sachs, but I believe they're about to change over to Chase. So when they change over to Chase, that's a whole different game. It's going to be a no, because Chase is a very stiff requirement bank. So we want to participate and go with your best chances. Now, here's a little secret, you guys. Um, One of the ways, right, to get these larger lines of credit, if you're trying to strategize, that I have found, even though these accounts are not like credit card accounts where you can spend it anywhere, but if you're trying to get a larger line to report on your credit reports, because understand this is the key: banks do not trust you whatsoever. Banks only trust you as far as the last bank trusts you. So if the last bank, you notice, gave you a $500 credit card, the next place you apply will probably give you a 500 credit card, maybe up to a 700 credit card, or vice versa. You're just not seeming to get out of this cycle or loop to get a larger line of credit. So the back doorway is to go for furniture accounts. Here's why: places like Ashley, places like Rooms to Go, the reason why those accounts are good to get you those larger lines of credit, they're trying to sell furniture. So, a lot of times, because they have a bigger ticket item, you have banks like Wells Fargo that might underwrite for those accounts. And they're a revolving account like a credit card. You might not can use it to book a room or to rent a car, but it'll show up as a line of credit. And many times for them to sell you furniture, they can't give you a little $1,000 credit card because you can't buy this couch. You get what I'm saying? So they're trying to sell furniture, they're trying to sell love seats. We need to get you a larger line of credit. So a lot of times you might can go over there, even if you have a little um, struggling type of credit score, and can get a $3,000 line of credit and get that reporting on your credit report, and then go and apply to another bank that's in your category, pulling from your highest credit score, and then get a real credit card that you can use. And now you're going up the ladder. But you want to make sure that even when you're going for these credit accounts for furniture to try to get something reporting onto your credit report, you're still targeting these banks that will pull from your most strongest credit score. Unlike a bank like Capital One, they pull all three. You want to avoid that because you don't want to get not unnecessary hard inquiries. So just keep that in mind. Going back to the No More Getting It Out the Mud challenge, another thing that you can do if you're trying to increase your credit score, if you have a spouse or somebody that gets approved for that line of credit, they can add you on. If it's possible, some of those lines you may not have an authorized user option, but many you may do. You can add them on as an authorized user. Now, keep in mind too, when we're going to get those lines of credit that banks are going to consider as those larger lines of credit, it has to be approved in your name, not authorized user accounts. They're not going to look at that for business credit or anything else. But the advantage of that authorized user account, it can help boost your credit score so you can actually increase your credit score and get approved for your own personal credit line. off of your name. So you can use those authorized users to help you get there, to get to a credit card that you can get on your own credit worthiness. So that's important. If you need help with that, the consultations where we can go over that is there, and you can get a list created. If you're in the elite credit system, I can do that for you. Look at your account and create some credit cards that you need to you can go for. One of the other important parts, that the ones that's going to be selected for you, soft pull pre-qualification. We don't just want to go like a chicken with our head cut off and just start applying for a bunch of stuff, because like I said earlier, hard inquiries will bring down your credit score. It's going to cost you 3 to 5 points. And even if you have really good credit, too many hard inquiries can get you denied for credit. And you want to make sure we're strategizing on how you're building. I have one person in my group. This person have worked on their credit score. Their credit score is in the mid 700s now. And she, Miss Wilson, sometimes will be in here. She's really good. But what we were trying to do now is to get her to better quality types of credit cards, going for the Chase. That's the first place we want to get her into, because one thing you guys got to understand, banks like Chase is probably the hardest bank. It's more considered in the credit card realm top tier over American Express at this point, because they're really stringent and they don't like a lot of hard inquiries. They have a 524 rule. If you haven't heard of it, you can't have more than 5 new credit card accounts in 2 years or 24 months. So we want to get over there first. American Express can be a little more forgiving when it comes down to the hard inquiries, and their strategies that you can use. They're really good with Chase and American Express to get those business accounts. I'm not going to lie. Um, Chase is really good if you're trying to build business credit. They're out of the 3 banks that's out there. If you get into Chase, a lot of people, Dun and Bradstreet, baby, you want to do Equifax and Experian business is really what you want to build. If you get into Chase, they're going to build your Dun and Bradstreet, Equifax business, and Experian business. Them, Chase, Citibank, and Capital One. Okay, those are the 3 banks that's going to hit all 3 of them. There are the only one. People say American Express, but they report to the Small Business Financial Exchange, and you'll have people that say, "Oh, that's the Business Credit Bureau." It's not. It's a nonprofit, but it is not a credit bureau. You cannot access the credit report for business credit, but it does work its way over there. So American Express will not primarily build your business credit if that's what you're looking for to build business credit. Chase, Capital One, and Citibank. Unless you have trouble credit, I kind of stay away from Capital One. I just don't like them pulling all 3. So I'll do the Chase and Citibank. So Citibank just don't have a lot of business card options, but you can work with Citibank. So just keep that in mind. So you want to know in your situation and where you at, where's the best stepping stone? Where should you go? Because what your cousin is doing might not be the best strategy for you and your goals, especially if you're trying to get larger lines of credit with the view that I'm trying to move over to business credit. You want to align yourself, and you don't need to get a ton of credit cards to do this. You don't want to do that. You want to aim correctly. You want to try to get over to that Chase and get over to that American Express, because they're good to build business credit to get access to larger lines of funds. And I will say American Express is one of those places, but there's other options too. And it all depends on what your strategy is. But these are some kind of little hints on where we're trying to get you to build those larger lines of credit. And understand, if you're under a 700 credit score, any revolving line of credit that you add on, it can increase your credit score by 50 points on average when it reports without you removing any negative item, as long as it's not dinging you late every month. This can help you increase your credit score. But you still, at the same time, you need to dispute those negative items, because there are just certain banks, certain places you cannot go with negatives. Chase being one of them. You're not going to go over there with that. Discover, you probably not going to make it over there with some negative items. Maybe, like, personally, you can get into Discover if you have a bankruptcy. It's like 2 years old. You can go over there. But American Express and Chase, no, you're not getting over there with a bankruptcy. You need to deal with that if you're trying to. And when it goes into business credit, it's very limited places you're going to go with that bankruptcy. You can make it do what it do on the personal side, but if you're strategizing to get on that business side, you really need to deal with that. And always remember, you guys, like I tell you guys, don't think, okay, I got to get my whole credit report clean. No, you go in with the same strategy. If I'm disputing, I get my Equifax clear. Oh, we're running with Equifax. If I get my Experian clear, we're running with Experian. Don't think you're just sitting there. I know that's a lot of strategies of credit repair companies, but that is not the fastest way to get there. It's almost like losing weight and trying to improve your health. There's composition where you're changing your body composition by dieting down, reducing, but at the same time building muscle, than just trying to lose weight where you might look like what they call slim fat, a slimmer version of your heavier self. Let's put it like that, of your heavier self. You look much better by adding on muscle, toning up. You want to do the same thing with your credit report. You don't want to have a ton. A lot of merchandise cards do help you get there, but you don't want a ton of shopping carts. You don't want to stay there. Then you want to get to certain banks. There's different tiers of credit cards, because once you put different accounts, tiers, it's going to attract more solicitation of higher quality offers coming to you, credit cards coming your way. So there's a way that you need to build, especially if you're getting on that business credit side. So we're going to even talk about, well, what's the goal of once I get these business credit and really get my credit profile looking in a certain way? Well, what can I do in business in order to leverage this to make money? Now, this is what we were talking about last week. One of the ways, me and Diamond, I came in, and she's going to touch on that, and we'll touch on it again. Solely, like, to be by yourself, I entered in to field inspections. And Diamond, you can go back because that segue to the video you dropped.
I'm sorry. Yes. So, field inspections is something that we definitely talked really heavily about last week. But the basics of it is, this is a real industry that people, even if you've never heard of this, even if you don't have experience in this field, a lot of times they will train you. Now, it depends on the type of companies you end up working for. But essentially, you are the eyes and ears of different banks, mortgage companies, lenders, and insurance companies to check on the condition of a residential property or a commercial property. And this can be a range of different, when it comes to how long it takes to do these inspections and do these reports. Just basically, depending on what type of industry that you're in. In the video, I talk a lot about the insurance industry because that's what I'm currently doing. Um, and this is just something that we have done in different seasons of life full time, that we have done in different seasons of life part time. And it really is something that's really very interesting, and a lot of people don't know about it. And this is available nationwide. So I don't want to spend too much time like deep diving into
And
all the stuff
well, the reason why I want to talk about this because it ties into the business credit.
that.
So another thing that I hate that Wendy is out right here. My hair keep doing it, but the reason why I want to talk about that and why I segue with the making money part, a lot of you guys might say, I don't know what to do.
Mhm.
So I want to get into business credit, but what can I do? The great part and how Diamond got into it, I was a single mom, 2012, transparency. They were younger, and I was working a job in retail. Hated it because in retail it's very demanding, holiday season, and you work, inconsistent hours. So when I got introduced to the inspections, I made more money per hour, even starting off with the mortgage industry, doing those kind of inspections than I was making on my job. The great part about it, I had the flexibility. So a lot of you guys, if you're thinking to use your credit to make money, to go and get this, once you clean up your credit report, the great thing about business credit, you can project your income that you're going to make in your industry. So unlike your personal credit cards, when you guys go there, you have to say, I make 50,000 a year. And that's what you're going to be qualified on. Business credit, it doesn't work like that. It's what's the projected amount in that industry. So let's say field inspections, the projected amount in that industry full time can be 75,000 a year. You haven't made that, but you can put it on the application. You get what I'm saying? Because that's the projection. If you're doing lawn care, the average lawn care where you live, it might be 150,000 a year. Now with business credit, unlike your personal credit, they're generally going to give you about 8 to 15% of the projected credit amount. So that's how you know with the income. Now, baby, we don't want to lie, okay? Like just straight up and say, hey, I'm going to get this, so I'm going to lie. Because places like American Express will double back on you, okay? They will, like, I'm pulling up. What was that you was saying you was going to make? So we're not saying to be absurd. And we're just giving you an idea, unlike your personal credit. Now, the great part about field inspections, you started this business. Now, even with your personal applications, I got additional income I can add on my personal applications. So now, if I am going for a loan or a credit card in my personal name, hey, I got this business income that I'm making additional $3,000 a month. That just added to your yearly income. That just added what you can qualify for. So, the thing with starting a business, though, a lot of people don't know where to start. And I don't know what to do. They'll create an LLC and, like, I don't know, like, what to do with it. You're not supposed to create an LLC and not know what to do with it, because when it comes to getting qualified for business credit, certain industries are toxic. Okay. So if you're saying, I'm going to be a general contractor, baby, a lot of people ain't going to touch you. You want to strategize and not waste your money in order to do that. So you don't want to set up. But if you're doing field inspections like Diamond, you don't need an LLC initially to do that. You're still in business. You're just called a sole proprietorship. And you can still qualify for business credit cards. You can use that. Now you have a clear industry to put on that application that's low cost, You don't need a lot of money to start it. All you need is your cell phone and this your car and this clientele. And baby, you're in business. You're actively in business, even if you're getting paid under your social security number. You're in business. Now, what you want to do, you can turn your name into a business. You can get an EIN number for your own personal name, and then that just reports to your business credit report attached to your name. So I have business credit cards under EIN number under Sherry Beckley, and it builds a business credit profile, business credit report with Dun and Bradstreet, Equifax business, Experian business that don't show up on my credit report. So you can leverage this. But the great thing about the field inspections, it give you an exact industry, unlike y'all that's just wandering. Because once you set up your LLC and get ready to go, you got to understand certain industries is not touchable. One primary one people love to talk about is cannabis. Nobody ain't funding no cannabis. Okay, that is problematic. So maybe even like a lot of people have a heart for charity. Now, I want to do a nonprofit, baby. That might not where you need to start. You might need to be like a McDonald's setup and Ronald McDonald House we give over here because a lot of times, a lot of people don't understand your nonprofit. Banks don't deal well with you not having a guaranteed profit. So a lot of nonprofits have trouble getting funded. So the inspections is a great starting point to get funding under the inspections, doing something low cost, low risk. I have a tried true blue industry that's not toxic like trucking. Nobody want to touch that. Lot of liability. Just doing certain things, and that's the thing I want to touch on for y'all to understand when you're talking about business. Certain businesses, when it comes down to build business credit versus personal credit, you're just not going to have a high credit score because you're in a certain industry. Trucking is one of them. They're going to judge you at best at the top trucking company, but you're going to be lower than somebody with a software company. You will never have the credit score that they have because you're in a toxic industry. So you want to make sure that you have the right codes, you have the right classification when you start that business, or you might be wasting your money if you're starting a cannabis business that you ain't going to never get no funding from for no real bank. You might need to segue as I'm not a cannabis business. I am in marketing and advertising. And one of the companies I market and advertise for is a cannabis company. That's why where you might have to do it. And this is why you want to be able to leverage now those credit lines, that good credit that you build. And now you can get access to the funding to help you make more money. And especially if you're doing it at the same time. So when we're talking about the No More Getting It Out the Mud challenge, Diamond can witness to this. When I was building my business credit, I start building her. I took her in chase. Like, hey, here's what you're going to say. A lot of times you need to go in branch when you're applying for business credit. There are protocols where you get better results. And what you did, sat down immediately, got over a $20,000 credit card. You get what I'm saying? A business 0% interest
Yeah.
to help her build her business. And a lot of things that y'all missing, one of the best ones, why she started her channel, one of the best low cost, free YouTube. A lot of y'all think that, oh, y'all just content creators. No, baby, my business is advertisement and media. Y'all got it all. Y'all got the game really messed up. So this is why we're trying to give you gems. With her and her new channel, what we're trying to tell you, You're not a YouTuber. I am not a content creator. When I pull up to the bank with the elite credit system, I am not credit repair. I keep telling y'all that. I'm a software company. Not you, I ain't no credit repair. I know nothing about that. That's toxic. That's not what I am. You have a software company. I am not a YouTuber. Do you think I go to the bank and say, I use YouTube? I'm a content creator. No, they don't understand what is that. Nobody understand that. I'm advertising and I'm a media manager. And we are. Guess what we get paid in on YouTube? It's something that's called AdSense because with y'all watching us, you're going to see an ad. And that's what this is. It's about media. So, what we're trying to get you to think about, don't think about as a consumer. A lot of you guys don't understand a lot of what you are doing right now and what you're watching, you're being marketed to, but you don't see it because you're not seeing behind the veil. YouTube content creation, being a media company, is one of the most free and a great way to get at business funding. And you ain't got to be making no money. All you got to do is get over there and start a free YouTube channel. Your credit line, right? You start dropping a video. One, you're a media company. You're an advertisement. I mean, is anybody catching that? What I'm putting down? I'm really. Let me slide down these comments because those, if y'all not getting what I'm trying to get to you, and the understanding, you're missing out in life by missing these opportunities. You ain't got to make a dime. You just got to get your credit because with Diamond, when we went into Chase, they ain't asking for no real documentation like that. You got it. You got your LLC. You in good standing. You are set up right. That's why you got to get it from the jump before you guys start establishing your LLC. You got to get in the right direction. So her and me, we are not Sherry Beckley YouTube. That's just what my name. I'm doing business as Sherry Beckley YouTube. When I go in the bank, I don't say, hey, here's my LLC, Sherry Beckley YouTube. It's a different name.
Yep.
It's under, when I started it, media and management, advertisement, because that's what I am. They
Mm-hmm.
ad on my channel. So all I had to show was my good credit, and I got access to in 24 hours, $75,000 worth of credit cards. If you know how to do it right, without making a dime, because business credit is what you projected in that industry. Not lying. We're not lying. It's what the average, this is what I project. I am a new business. But the reason why the banks trust you, you manage your personal life. So they trust that.
Yep.
You're the front for the business. So I hope you're catching what I'm putting down. This is what they're not telling you around here. I'm be honest. I really just told y'all the game. It's free. It's free. See, y'all don't sit there and hate a lot of times because what you disrespect. So what you actually respect move towards you, but what you disrespect move away from you. So a lot of times don't despise the rich. Sometimes you need to listen to them. And sometimes you need to analyze. Me and Diamond talk about your trigger. A lot of times, if you don't heighten and be able to sit under certain things that offend you, you would never get certain knowledge. You might be too busy being offended to really get the information, to hear what they say. One thing Robert Kiyosaki said, he said, there's no discrimination in the tax code. When I first heard that, I was offended. Like, what? Ain't no discrimination. He said, ain't no discrimination in the tax code. You just got to know how to get the rules to use it. That's why I tell y'all, red or blue, neither is for you. A lot of people, I'll drop a Trump video. Child, they don't even listen to it. They get offended from the dough. And I get to number one quickly. They ain't even here. I just hit in the comment, oh, this a lie. What part? What part? They didn't even listen. They didn't hear the one Trump video I just dropped. They waived the student loans. They're no longer doing the active collection on that. They paused the wage garnishment. People like, it's a lie. They didn't bother to hear it because I'm playing the news clips. They're just so triggered because they're either so for or so against someone that they didn't even get the information. That person that's triggered that didn't even bother to listen, a lot of it was relief for them. But they didn't get that far because I didn't even say bad or negative. I just laid it out the way it is. A lot of times that's how I'm going to lay my information. Because what I tell you guys, don't be triggered by this stuff. Don't listen. I done lived 40 plus years on this planet. No matter what you do, somebody's going to get in that office that you don't approve of. I just long as I live, there's nothing you can do about that, whether you like them or not. We already understand with the two parties, one is pro business, one is pro working. So what I do, what she do, we're employees of our business. Don't matter who get up in there. I don't care who get up in there. Whether I might personally not agree, but personally it don't affect me on either side because I can benefit on either side. And I'll tell you the truth, I benefit better on the red side, hands down. I'll be honest with you, hands down. That's why I'm saying don't get offended. Democrat get in there, I'm going to benefit anyway. I got a job. I got a job. And guess what? You know what? Bang. We're going through some rough times. If I need to get some assistance, you got to take a pay cut. Do I? Yeah. Go right to ADP. Drop your pay. Girl, you got to take a pay cut. Now your pay stubs fits right into the requirements. If I need in a Republican dime, oh, you need to bump up your pay. Hey, you've been doing so good, Sherry. I'm giving you a raise for the next 4 weeks. For the next couple of pay stubs. Guess what? I done got a raise. 6 months later, I'm back down. You guys is being triggered. You know what I registered with myself a long time ago? Ain't nothing you can do about it. You only get one vote. I shouldn't be mad at my family, all of them, no matter what they stand. We socialists, I'm a communist, all of them come out rich. So why am I sitting here fighting with my family, fighting with y'all? No, you got to just understand what's going on. And that's why I give the information to give y'all heads up. Hey, here's the policies, is moving this way. And people get so triggered. They'll get so triggered. You said that last month. None of it was the same. It's constantly in
Changes.
this administration changes. It just is what it is. I'm just reporting what's coming out. One of them, sad to say, it depends on what you are. The number 4 was the SBA tomorrow. If you are not a citizen of the United States, they will not no longer give SBA loans to you. If your corporation, company have anybody with a green card or whatever, you will no longer qualify for funding. It must be 100% citizen owned company. And If you actually had somebody on your board that was a non-citizen, even they're properly as a resident here, green card holder, if you take them off, it's 6 months before you can even be able to come back with that business and put in an application to get funding. So if I don't tell you that, that's a real change that's happening tomorrow. Somebody need to know that. They need to know how to move, and it is what it is. Don't kill the messenger. I'm just telling you what the changes is like, and folks get upset. And I'm not trying to make you upset. I'm trying to make you aware. So if you are a person, I don't no hate, no shade, that's in that situation, and you have a business and you're a green card holder, you might feel like, hey, that's unfair. I pay taxes. But with the information, you might know now if your business is coming up and you might need funding, you might need to remove yourself off of that and put a wife or a spouse or a family and you're a member and you're prepared that when I go move forward, because a lot of this funding come through your local community banks. So you don't get denied for that, then you know how to move accordingly. But this is what I'm telling you guys. Start to strategize. Use these opportunities to you. I know people don't tell you that, but YouTube right here, if you get your credit together, you become a media company. So I don't want you to waste your money. And a lot of you guys have a lot of LLCs and you don't even know how you established it. You might need to scrap it. If you don't know what it's for or how it's set up, that's very important. So while the inspections was good for me, it was something I can do to make income, leverage business credit was something that was giving me cash flow really easy. And then once I started it, then I was able to create a LLC. It gave you cash flow and a place to start. You get what I'm saying, to get access to business credit. So, Diamond, hopefully that was informational for somebody and give them some other ideas besides that, what they can do with these lines of credit.
Yes, so there are so many different opportunities. And again, where we're talking about even collaborating with one another, there's something that I featured it on my channel, and it's called Dolly.com. And there was a subscriber of mine that said that he actually took the information from the video, and him and his family started working in it, and they started actually generating money as a business. So I really love opportunities that they're not just side hustles. You could keep it that way if that's how you're going to play it, but you could also play it in a different way where you could really create a business from it. So Dolly.com basically allows you to start your own moving company. And if you're in an area that's heavily populated, or if you're like in a city area where people are always moving in, moving out, then it's something that you definitely want to check out. So there's two different ways with Dolly that you could be getting paid. They have something called become a helper and then become a hand. So a helper is somebody who has a truck, and it doesn't even have to just be like the U-Haul vans or anything like that, but you could have like a Ford, like a Ford truck, anything where you can put furniture onto that vehicle. And what they want you to do is just drive to different locations, and they have people that are hands, who are people that actually go in and they move the furniture, put it in your car, then you transport it. And this might not be someone moving an entire home or an entire apartment, but maybe they need to move a dresser. Maybe somebody is selling some furniture and they're getting it shipped to the person, or whatever the case may be. Now, on top of that, if you don't have that type of vehicle available, you can become a hand. I just want to make sure I got the numbers right. But if you become a helper, so if you use your vehicle, you get paid $50 an hour. If you become uh, I can't hear you. Can you hear
Oh,
me?
expand yourself to go up front. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay. If you if you become a hand, so you're the person that's actually picking up the furniture, moving it, you're doing more of the heavy lifting, you could get paid $35 an hour, both of which is way beyond minimum wage and really is a nice pay, especially as you guys keep going, start, getting more people. And through the app, you don't have to go find the people yourself. They're going to bring the people to you, tell you where to go. But the way that you can actually connect this as a whole business, so say you're somebody, like my grandparents always, had the, what is it called, the F-150, right? um
Yes, yes.
yeah, so if you got, so let's say somebody got the F-150, and then somebody else is like, okay, I'm going to pick up the furniture. They actually allow you guys to connect together, and so you can choose. So if please let me know if this is making sense, y'all. But if you're the helper and you're the one that's providing the vehicle, you could connect with your homie, your kids, your husband, whomever is your sons, whatever, the ones that are going to be actually moving and doing the heavy lifting. Y'all connect together and you're running it like a whole business. So even when we talked about our field inspections, right? My mom kind of had to facilitate, like, okay, we're going to take out of the total of the pay and divide that up. But with this, you're getting paid $50 per hour. They're getting paid $35 per hour. And it's not coming, neither one of y'all are dipping out of each other's budget, but you're actually getting paid from the company itself, but you're running it like a whole business. So I'm going to put that in the chat because, again, that's something that one of my subscribers really took. And he said he was making good money, especially in the summertime with that. And we want to shout out again, Miss Murphy, who is here every
Thank
live. Thank
you.
you so much, Miss Murphy. And
Thank
she's
you,
always
Miss Murphy.
supporting.
She's always supporting. Thank you, Miss Murphy. We really appreciate your support. So thank you so much. She's awesome and always support the information. Thank you once again.
Yes,
And
thank
with Dolly, one part that she's saying too is aligning paperwork for you.
you.
So a lot of times when you're working, a lot of times even with me and Diamond, somebody have to do the filing for the tax year and to put so the great thing about Dolly, they're doing it for you. So you also, if you need to show that you're in business and the income that you're making, they're giving you and have a system where you can get access to that documentation, which is really important for funding and with the bank.
Mhm.
So another big thing like that, you guys, it's expense. When you're in business, if you're a high income earner, that's a tax write-off for you in certain areas. So you can maneuver that either to help you increase your income or if you need to reduce your income to help minimize your tax obligation, that's a good way for that too.
Yeah, so that's one option that I wanted to give to you all. And Mom, I know you had
Yeah,
another one too.
there's one is called ShareTown, and with that it's not quite like Dolly. It's almost where you have companies, let's say with mattresses. A lot of people order a mattress and it might come to them by shipping and they're not satisfied with it, so they want to return. It's too expensive for the company to return it. They're going to take a loss and they got to return you your money. So a lot of times they will let somebody locally come pick up that mattress and you can resell it. So you might say they're selling it to you for $250. Now you're not purchasing it, you're going to pick it up, but they allow you to resell it. So you may resell it if it's a king size mattress, let's say for $800. And somebody, you might have to store this mattress, you might have to store it in your living room, but that person, you can deliver it, or if they come and pick it up, you can turn around and get the balance above that. So you might have to pay the company $250 for the mattress, but the rest of that money it goes to you. So that's a way that you can also make money with it's called ShareTown. That's another way. So you can work with a family member, post this stuff on Facebook Marketplace, and you guys might pick this up together. And that's an avenue where you can have a business, especially if you already have a pickup truck, or if you want to leverage your credit to get a car loan. We had somebody in our group, his name is Lawrence, and that's what he did. He got a truck. Also, Lou just got a truck, also, somebody who was in our group, and they started a courier service. The one particular gentleman, he was able to leave his job and now do a full-time courier service. So, with the two options we just gave you, you might not just do one exclusively, you might can do both of these apps. And then that gives you the cash flow to make a full-time industry. Another one is drop off. That's another type of courier service that they have you to pick up larger loads depending on your vehicle. You can use that. And it's another one, I think GoShare is another one. And they pay you more the larger size your vehicle is. Or even if you have smaller vehicles, they can pay you like $30 an hour, and per delivery. And for larger vehicles, they pay you sometimes up to $150 an hour. So you might use multiple of these apps to work with your family, leveraging your credit to make cash flow. And you can do that part time. You don't have to dedicate yourself to that full time. And if you're doing different facets, like we're saying, the field inspections, that's one business you can have going. You can be doing that part time. You can do Dolly. That's another. Set up two separate LLCs. And if you have good credit, you can PG for both industries to get access to funding for both companies. So I'll land there.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I seen someone mention VHO, and I did a whole video, really a whole vlog doing VHO. Now, the cool thing about it is, and I even seen people so VHO is almost like Amazon Flex, where you're picking up different packages, and you might have like 50 packages or something like that, but they tell you how much they're going to pay you up front. And a lot of the orders are like $120, and you got to like price it out. And I talk about that in the video, like really pricing it out and mapping it out so that it's worth your time, because it can be very tedious and it can be a lot of work for a small amount of pay once you price it out. But if you really strategically do it, then you can make money with that. And if you're talking about VHO,
Yes, spell that out, please.
VEHO, and I'll send you guys the link to VHO. And I seen people that were doing it with each other. So one person was like loading the car with packages, the other person might go out and actually deliver them, and you can have people help you do that. So if somebody got a car and the other person doesn't have a car, because I know a lot of my subscribers talk about that, like sometimes they don't have a car, but their partner does, or their family member, their friend does, and that is something that y'all could kind of like tag team together, and you figure out the pay amongst yourselves. So I'm gonna drop that. Now, we did have some
and also we're going to we'll leave all these links. And Diamond also, she has consultations. If you're a person that's trying to strategize and you want to launch your YouTube channel, if you're inspired by that, you can also reach out to her, and she has spots open, and we're going to leave those in the pinned comment section if you're watching this later. So if you want to get contact with her, because she's really my back office, so a lot of this technology and the website, that's her brainchild. Mm-hmm. So this is another thing, just with social media, we're not just doing this mother and daughter. She has her company that I pay every month. She get paid every month, and that I pay her as a contractor to work for me. So all of this stuff that you see, because she does set up the back office, she does do a lot of management and she does a lot of marketing. I pay her. I'm not good with that. If you guys need help with technology, setting up, if you're in the fashion, setting up platforms, a lot of this where you guys are accessing, setting up for the coaching, she does that. And so you need help with whatever you got going on, strategizing. Let me tell you, she's good for that. And if you need landing pages, how to line that up, like single landing pages. A lot of times, if you want a email strategies, all the emails that you guys see that you're getting from me, what that's her realm. She does that marketing. So you guys, or information or whatever we need to get out, scheduling, that's her lane, that she does that. So if you need help and need a way for your type of business on how to strategize, especially like if you're in my age group and we're not really that good with technology and we ain't trying to do it, be the person to do it for you, or at least to give you a strategy and set up ways where you can manage it for yourself. So she'll drop her link also, because I'm just not there with
Yes,
it.
thank you. Yes, thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Yeah, because a lot of people will email me and ask me about certain things. And unfortunately, I know the credit side, like I understand that, but the technology side and the layout and those things that you need, unfortunately, that is not my strong point. I pay her to do that. And this is what we're saying, even with me and her. She does the inspections, but this, what she does for me, is another stream of income.
Mhm.
So this is what us working together. She handles a lot of things. My thumbnails. She's doing my thumbnails. Now, I found out like her doing my thumbnails, sometimes I get a way better response than was helping people who actually did my thumbnails. For her, setting up the team, that we have a team of people, she was the one that organized and put everybody in their place to make efficiency. Because when you're paying people, you don't, and she would also see the results of what was coming back, what was being effective. It really like a social media manager for me in that realm. All of that is important. And if you have a child that has that kind of mindset, or a relative, just like what we're doing here,
Mhm.
don't think social media is just folk just jumping on here and doing things. Another thing, please follow her challenge. Now, I'm going to be just totally dead out serious with you guys. You're missing an opportunity. A lot of times you might say, well, I'm not like you. I don't have information to give. I do hair, I do tangible things. She's good at getting brand deals. Now, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. A lot of y'all that are visual, you might actually have an active, let's say, braiding shop, or you're doing even out of your home. You might say, hey, I do lashes. I don't see how this is informational. No, you are perfect for brand deals. So some of these brand deals, you guys, people will pay you $2,000, $5,000 for an 8-minute video. They're
Mhm.
trying to do brand awareness. Diamond is good on strategizing and have a list of companies you need to contact and how to come with a media package.
Yep.
Because a lot of y'all think this is just play, like, oh, that person, a YouTuber. No, brands is actively seeking you out. We get tons of emails, things I don't really entertain because I'm not, if something is not aligned to me and it's not going to benefit my audience, I'm not, I'm not a lot of times, because that's not my genre, that's not my niche. But if you're a person that is into beauty, oh, the world is your oyster. There are so many products, so many brands where you can generate income a month if you cook, If you there is so many things. If you like to travel, if
Mhm.
you guys travel, you need to be vlogging. Do you know how many dang on brand deals there is for travel? You got enterprise. You talk about Hertz, car rental companies, airline companies that will pay you just showing you're traveling for hotels. There's people that have whole um, cruise channels that's getting big money just from brand deals for marketing cruises. So, whatever you like to do, this is what I'm telling you. Don't look at, honestly, the best kept secret is YouTube. I'll
Mhm.
be honest with y'all right now. A lot of y'all don't understand. This is the best game going for free, that you ain't got to put no bread up for free. And I'm telling you, you get your credit right. I know what it's like. Why you whispering? Cause y'all don't understand. To leverage this going up in the bank. Hey, I'm a media. I got
Yep.
a media, and I'm advertising. You are. Do you know setting up a YouTube channel? Why do you think YouTube now have things that you can link to your videos? This is a whole economy
Mhm.
that you missing out of because I'm shy. I'm shy. Child, the heck with all that shyness. Bills got to be paid. They don't know,
Yep.
I'm just shy. I'm, what? And you're making money, you guys, while you sleep. If you put out something that align to your natural talent, that you do hair and you do makeup, there's whole wig channels. Do you know, even with TikTok, they give you the products? Do you know these people give you the products? If you're a woman that likes to have different looks, wigs, clothes, these people come to seek you out and say, here, why you think a lot of them have unboxing? I got
Yep.
this free. They pulling up, giving something that you enjoy for free,
Yep.
talking to people with the same interest as you because you are marketing.
I'm using right now. I have y'all seen them standing desks, the things that go up and down and stuff like that. My first year of YouTube, not even I don't even know how many subscribers I had at that time. Maybe around 30,000 subscribers. They gave me, and I'm still using this thing right now. This is a $600 desk. That ain't pay me, but they gave me a $600 desk. They shipped it to me, and I did, and all I did was a YouTube short for them, one YouTube short for them, and I got this desk to this day. And they was trying to give me another one. I said, I can't put. I don't even know where to put that big old desk. Like you know what I'm
And wait, hold on. Let me just drop this
saying?
for y'all. This is the crazy part. And I think y'all don't realize this. You don't have to show yourself and you don't have to have a lot of followers.
Yep.
Let me tell you that what we all use. You don't really need a lot of views. Say it's certain things that you actually use. I'm going to use this because this is real. I'm just going to use some of my props, like my lights,
Mm-hmm.
right? This light is expensive. Actually, people that do that with lighting or photography, I actually use this light. You can do a whole review on this light and the functioning of this light that you, and a 6 months later
Yep.
of using this light. How does it perform? People do that with wigs, they do that with coffee machines. This is stuff that people, I just bought my 4-year-old a scooter. Do you know, before I purchased a scooter on Amazon for her, I went to YouTube to see somebody unboxing because I wanted to see the quality of it and how did it really work, somebody opinion. Do y'all know y'all can do those types of video with everything that you absolutely already bought
Mm-hmm.
and used and put a link and get paid? And you ain't really got to have the following. Do you know that's one of the biggest things
Yep.
that you can do? Just put a link in the video. Just, hey, you don't need mad people to pull up on you. That
Mm-hmm.
not all, one person got to just purchase. One person, and you making money while you sleep. Thank you so much. We got a $10. Thank you so much.
Yes, we want to thank you for Mr. Brown, who said, I paid down several of my credit card balances and raised my score 80 points in 1 month to 600 and to 617. Still have a ways to go, and I thank you for your videos. Thank you so much for the support.
Mr. Brown, congratulations to you. That takes a lot of discipline to pay down your credit cards, and I know you are so relieved to not have those payments. So congratulations to you, and thank you for watching us and the testimonial and the acknowledgement. I really appreciate it. And with just even segueing with Mr. Brown, a lot of y'all, like he said, he paid down his credit cards. These strategies we're giving you just with the social media, that might be the way to pay off that credit card.
Mm-hmm.
That you're just using items that you use to improve your credit score. You're just doing reviews on something. How many unboxings that you didn't even see people? You weren't even concerned, or some of you men, to put something together. There's a lot of people that I don't know how to put, or if you're a mechanical person, how to change or find with my car. I ain't know stuff. I'll YouTube it real quick. How I do this. Somebody showing. Go and look at those type of videos. They get 4 million views. Those are the things that be because it's evergreen. That somebody, even if the car is older, somebody have that car later on, and they're looking for ways that can be a way to pay off your credit card debt, just like Mr. Brown had that discipline. But that can be your key to paying off that credit card debt to increase your credit score.
Yep.
So we're just letting you know and giving you some of the secrets that people not telling you. Those, I know everybody is not going to do it. I know it's not for everybody, but we just want to leave you with some ideas for you to think about, because somebody going to say, that's reasonable for me to do. You get what I'm saying? It might not be for everybody, but when somebody hear what we laid out, you might say like, time's hard out here. What the heck? Like, forget all of that. I ain't got time for it. I'm going to get out here and do my unboxings. If you like to cook and you like to bake, start gathering those things that you use and do a honest review.
Yeah.
You ain't even got to lie.
Mm-hmm.
There's some companies want your honest review, and focus on that. And that can be your way out of credit card debt and making money while you sleep. As somebody click on, let me tell you something, and a lot of y'all do this too. I'll go to hair videos, and you are not even hurting nobody. You helping somebody. You and women that look at that, you be like, wow, she really did that.
Yep.
I don't want to go look at, I need exactly the products that she used. I don't need you to tell me you got to find just for me. Can you please just drop that for the comb and everything you use so I can watch this again and do it exactly how you do it so I can get the same results? Y'all, please do that. Please don't even think it's not even hurting people. I hate when people don't do that. Like, now I gotta go over here and figure out what this is. This the right one that girl had? Because I needed to look just like this on how she did it, or she's doing a tutorial and I wanted to get the same exact results. How about if I make a mistake and use the wrong brand? So think about that in baking, any product. If you're on a diet idea, keto, if you're taking a GLP-1, Zepta, somebody want to hear your review on that. And there's a referral link for that. So go out there, tell your experience, do a review, because that can make you income and help improve your credit score. Diamond, you want to take some questions if we see anything else and any more that you had to add?
Yes. So I'm gonna drop my video because I show y'all, if y'all are interested in those reviews. I show y'all a few cases and give you some ideas on how you can actually start making money from day one with a brand new channel. And I'm my own testament to that. I started a new channel, put that video out, and started getting bookings from that one video, and that channel ain't even monetized yet, but one video is generating me that income. So we practice what we preach around here. We know what we're talking about, and I'm going to go ahead and drop that for you. In the
And
meantime,
that's another thing. Pull up to Diamond. That's another thing. We don't want you guys, if you're starting a YouTube channel, we don't want you to be broke. So the idea ain't trying to get to monetization. She would give you a strategized plan where you can be monetized for the door. That's what I learned when I did my first channel. No, you want, but when you start to have a straight plan to pay yourself so you're not disappointed, right? Because after a while, if things are not working and you like, I'm not getting views, we want to strategize to get you results. Because like with her one video, somebody ran across it, booked a strategy appointment. And I think at that time she had 300 views,
300 views on
350, 305 views on the video. And somebody, this is exactly what I need.
yeah.
We're not just talking about her. That's in you too. You have a realm of experience, but you just need the strategy to go. Don't torture yourself. That's like, if you really interested in starting a YouTube channel, please, you guys, do not torture yourself. Start off where she can strategize with you with a plan, a comp to pay you from the door. Because if you're not getting paid, or we're not trying to get you paid from the door, you'll get burnt out. That's what we don't. You don't want to, I need 1,000 subscribers and try. We've been there and done that. And this is why we're giving you a strategy where our second channel, we ain't do all that. You know what I'm saying? So you can stay motivated and you can get paid.
We want to shout out. Thank you so much for this amazing.
Oh my God.
Yes, thank you so much. He said, do you guys get this money? We do. I'm not into social media, but I know that the information that you're saying is true. Money and learning credit is my safe space. Thank you so much. What a
and please email us. We want to send you. Thank you so much for that. We want to send you a gift or a package for your donation here. We totally appreciate you guys. I'll be honest, this is amazing. And everybody that give, even Miss Murphy, whatever you guys, if you gave, please email us. We want to send you back something. And it's not that we're just doing, I just truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're going to circle on back to you guys' questions, starting from the top. Quick shout out. So we have a couple people that is joining the one-on-one coaching and joining the Elite Credit System. So we want to welcome you all and acknowledge you and say that we are super excited to have you guys and to meet you all. Also,
and I can't wait to work with you. We really can't. So thank you. And don't worry about the typos. No, your typos is fine with me, because y'all see me responding back. I'm like, I know, like, to some of the comments, they be like, oh, this girl's slow. But because when you be talking in your phone, it'll come, you like, when you go back, like, what did I even say here? But no, it's not a problem. Thank you for everybody that's signing up. We're looking forward to working with you.
So we have Miss Carter asks, how long do inquiries stay on your credit report?
For 2 years. But if it's not connected to an open account, you can dispute that and get those off. So long as it's not to an open account, you don't want to dispute anything to an open credit card, because if you dispute it, they can shut down the whole line, because they'll say it was open due to fraud. So just long as it's not to an open account, you can dispute it.
Kimberly said, buying my car put so many credit inquiries that I can't get new credit. And I was told the banks would consider all of those inquiries to equal just one because I was buying a car.
That's a lie. They be lying so bad from doing that. If you can dispute those and say that you just say you don't have any knowledge of those, because that they'll lie to you and shotgun your credit. And car companies dealerships do this a lot. the best approach to this, I know this is what my father called Monday morning quarterbacking, but
Mhm.
you can dispute those because they have to have permissible purpose. And by them shotgunning you, tearing down your credit report, they didn't make it clear that they were creating that many hard inquiries. But always just make it, if you can, just email us. You can to get pre-qualifications. One of them, like Capital One, is a good one where you can see they'll give you your pre-qualified line
Mhm.
for a car. If you're a customer to Chase, PenFed is another one where you can get pre-qualification without a hard pull. Navy Federal, if you're a member, it is not pre-qualified. They're going to hard pull you, just to give y'all a heads up. So I always go to a Chase, Capital One, and get my qualifications. And you can take that to a dealership where they do not shotgun your credit because you already pretty much have a lender in place and you could just go and pick out your card. So that's how you guys stop them from shotgunning. Come with your financing already with you.
Mhm.
And that help you negotiate a better deal on that vehicle.
Yep. Someone say you're not.
Oh, and ma'am, we got a free heart inquiry removal package. We'll drop that link so you can send those letters in for those also.
Yep. The link is in the comment section. I just put out there, so we do have the free heart inquiry letters that you guys could go ahead, because I see a couple
Yeah,
of
you
questions
can
about
download that.
inquiries here. Yep. Someone said you're not telling any lies. I'm in transportation trucking. You better know them all these codes beforehand.
Yeah, beforehand. And let us know how trucking is going. I know trucking has been a real, the last 2 years been hit really hard. Hopefully, things will get better in that trucking industry. A lot of people were saying they haven't, where truck drivers been known to make good money, but it's been a lot of changes in transportation. So I hope you staying strong in that industry.
Yep. Um, Sunshine Viking said, "What if a company like Camping World keeps checking your credit scores even when you told them to stop because it's affecting your credit score?"
Now, are they doing soft pull or hard pulls, or do you have an account with them? So, if you have a credit card account with them, they will periodically pull your credit report um, to see if you're late or anything. And that's how a lot of you guys might get lines reduced or closed. Okay. But if you do already have a credit card with them, that you cannot stop. If not, they should not be pulling your credit report. If they're doing soft pulls, it doesn't hurt your credit score or bring it down. But if you already currently have a credit card, yeah, that do. So, but they shouldn't be doing it. Usually they do it once a year. If you see it like once or yeah, once a year, pretty much. So yeah,
Mhm.
that does happen.
Uh, Someone said, "I'm going to pay down my Capital One just because I've been with them since 2015." While we were talking about paying down credit lines.
Yeah, in Capital One, yeah, they tend to try to box you in. So they don't like to increase those credit lines unless you're going in with the venture card with some of their premium cards, but they're known to box people in. So if you started off with some of the lower tier cards like the Quicksilver, depending on the tier, because there's two tiers of that Quicksilver card. Yeah, they don't like to bump those cards up. So I just pay mines down and I don't use my Capital One. I just use it for my Netflix exclusively just to keep it open, to be honest. I don't really mess with it. I don't like that they pull all three bureaus. Yeah, I don't. And they had I had called in, they were, oh, you qualify for miss me with that. I'll be honest. Like, don't give me nothing. Miss, and I'm like, I got bigger credit lines, and y'all don't want to really get nobody a bump up. And like they a whole mess. Like they want you to really, you gonna really use us. You can get it increase, but they want you to spend. I ain't even here for it like that. Like, why should I be doing all of that for you? I ain't going, I'm for real. Now they are in like, if you're trying to rebuild to start again, I will say they will give you a chance. But all that other mess they be doing, mm-mm. After that, nah, miss me on that with Capital One. I'm for real. I do not like Capital One. I
We
do.
have a question that said, "Hi guys, do y'all help with credit? Thanks. Can you go over a little bit of the things that we offer for anyone that was a bit late to the live tonight?"
Sure. With the Elite Credit System, it's an AI software. So that does the heavy lifting part. So it imports in your credit scores and for all three credit scores. And within 2 minutes, initially, when you log in and it brings in your credit score, it finds all the errors on your credit report, right? And so with the FCRA, with the Fair Credit Reporting Act, it must be 100% complete and accurate for something to be reported on your credit report. So, finding the inconsistencies in that account, the system actually creates you a dispute letter. So, you can dispute that account and get those accounts removed to move towards getting those accounts removed. Now, with the credit coaching on that part of what I do, we have a group coaching. If you have questions about the best way to attack that item on your credit report, sometimes having additional information does help. So if we have paperwork or it's a different way we need to attack that, we can do that. So a lot of times me hearing and really sometimes if you need extra steps to get that off, that's a great way to do that. Or if you looking to increase your credit lines or need help with your credit scores or um, what's the best credit line you should be going for, or if you need a list of credit cards for your strongest credit score that you're trying to apply for, I'm there to give you a list and to help you through that process. So that's what we offer with the Elite Credit System. Also, if you have questions about business credit, we do discuss and touch on that during the meeting for those that need help with that. But if you need to book a personal one-on-one, you can do that if you need to sit down and really go over what's your best strategy. With the business part, it's so many details, especially like the gentleman, he's in trucking. Somebody like that have an active business. If you really need to go over some things, probably a one-on-one is best because you already know he's in transportation. He understands his industry. And somebody like that, it's some other information I don't put out here because me putting it out there, if you're not in business, it's probably not worth your investment. But there are other ways where you can get larger funding if you need like million, 2 million in that category. But trust and believe a lot of that, somebody like him that have an active business, they can enter into that. But if you don't have a direction and you like, I just want 2 million, maybe you got to pay that at the same time. So some people, it's like, I try to encourage people if you're starting off, find out how to make money. I'm just saying at the same time and stay within the range of what you can manage. Because some people like, I want $5,000. If I get $5,000, I could start this business.
Yeah.
But if you are just starting a business, you don't really have a lot of experience, you could put yourself in a worse situation because as things as you perceived it might not line up that way. You know what I'm saying? Till you get active. So a lot of times people with active businesses, you're best to do a one-on-one and we can try to aim to get you funding on what you need to keep going or your best way to strategize your business. Or if you have questions, some people they're just persistent. I don't, I really need to ask questions about this and I need, one-on-one time and you can set that up if you have your own credit situation.
Yeah. And just to be clear that the one-on-one coaching isn't just for business credit. This is actually for personal credit coaching. So a lot of you guys probably know that we stopped doing one-on-ones because it gets overwhelming. So many people want them. And so we have the group coaching and the Elite Credit System. So for a limited time, probably for this month only, or we'll fill it out, but we have one-on-ones available. And for those of you that are in the elite credit system, they still, we have the group coachings, but some people still want one-on-ones, and we have a discounted price for you. But for the public and anybody that, because the elite credit system is a monthly subscription, so sometimes people, they just kind of want a one and done, like personalized mapping out for them, and that's where the one-on-one credit coaching is going to be for you guys. So we did leave the link for that in the comment section.
Yeah, so definitely if you need help with that, or if you have questions on both, the one thing with the elite credit system, the great part, it allows me to see quickly, and
Yeah.
we can understand what your credit problems is, because it imports it in, organize it, and then we can create a dispute to really go out for you. So that's the part of that. And a lot of time with that system, what a lot of people don't understand, we don't have a lot of control over the system, because the to actually get your credit scores is pretty pricey. And so even if you're a person that pays for Experian, I'm one that paid for Experian every month just to get that one credit report, it's $29.99 a month. So a lot of the elite credit system, part of that cost is really to get your credit scores. So just to keep that in mind, and it's needed, honestly and truthfully. I know a lot of people, you can maneuver doing stuff like, but you got to, if you're working on your credit right now, you gotta monitor your credit, because you gotta know whatever you're doing is working. So it's like trying to lose weight, but I don't want to get on the scale. How you know what you're doing is working? So we need to have some kind of marker, so we know a starting point, like where you are, and what progress looks like. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to start and you at, you know what I'm saying, 500 pounds, and then you finish 6 months later and you at 575. That is not progress. So we want to, you got to check in so we can see what's working and you're not wasting your time. Because if so, then we need to adjust, like mid strategy, to get you in the right direction. And to be honest with you, um the satisfaction part of the elite credit system on the value it give, most people that start be in it on average in for a year. I'll
Yeah.
be honest. There's people that's been in it ever since it started. I mean, they're done, hands washed, they're done. But there's people that goes to different levels. The people that started with us, a lot of them have business credit, and they don't even tap in. They just have it just so when they want their questions asked, to
Yeah.
get it, because they understand where they started from and where they are now. You get when and honestly, it don't take all day. And a lot of people in the group will tell you, I ain't trying to waste your time because I don't want you to waste mine. It just is a personal pet peeve for me. I want you to go in and keep going. And one thing, when it was a different thing when I was working earlier, the thing that frustrated me, I would tell people exactly what to do with their situation. And you remember that, Diamond. Their credit score would go from like a 580 to, in 3 months, over 700.
Yep.
And it will burn my biscuit, because it'll be 3 months later. I messed up again.
I destroyed it all. Yep.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
I couldn't. It was a number of people. I mean, I was like, what? But what I found out, I was telling them what to do, but they never understood why
Yeah.
they were doing it. So for instance, we all are, back in the day, the cabbage soup diet. You could just, if I tell you, Diamond, eat cabbage soup
Mhm.
every day. You get what I'm saying? 3 times a day. And you lose all this weight. But you didn't know the mechanics of why it was calories in, calories out. You didn't understand why. And you go back to your regular life and gain it all back. That's what they were doing, because they didn't understand the why. we have found way more success because during the coaching, during people understand why. And you have other people in the group that people bond with. Like, so the group is not just about, oh, talking to me. There's people that actually work together and they have worked in business together. So it's beyond me. You're getting in a community, honestly, of like-minded people. And a lot of them have their each other numbers and they bonded and they have some people have did business ventures together because one person is in software. Hey, I got this going on, maybe I could subcontract this work to you. And yeah, there's been people that made their own connections, so they found it beneficial more just having the network of people, or even learning, just sitting around listening, learning from somebody else and what they're going through. You'll be surprised on how it answer your question. Like, there's many people like, I had a question, but yeah, you answered my question right with that. That's exactly what I had going on. So there's so many people. Unfortunately, I had car trouble or some car things going today, and Diamond set in, and also Kenesha is there. She also helps me with the meeting and asks questions, especially in the mortgage industry. But you'll be surprised. There's people that sit there, they don't have no questions. Hey, I just sit here to listen to the information because they learn by just hearing the repetition of it. So that's what it's about. So it's not just about me. And this is why with me, I want to develop y'all because it actually give me a circle of people that have skill sets. I help them, and it actually create resources for people to tap into. So this is what the No More Getting It Out the Mud challenge is. And this is what we say. You want to be intentional. Yeah, you might not have the most supportive people in your family, or maybe in your friend group, maybe even in the community you live in, but purposely put yourself in places where you can make those connections and those partnerships. So, any more questions, Diamond?
I believe that was our last question for the night. Um,
Well, we thank you guys. We so appreciate you guys showing up. We thank you for everybody that supported the live.
yes.
Miss Murphy, we really thank you. We really Mr. Muhammad, I just want to make sure that Mr. Muhammad, thank you so much
Mhm.
for supporting the live. We really appreciate you guys that that they gave. We appreciate you guys supporting the live with your time. And do me a favor if you can, before you leave, hit the like button for us because it'll continue to go out in the algorithm. We just hope to inspire you guys. We want to see the best for you, especially for 2026. We know that times are really challenging for a lot of people. So we want to make sure that we at least give you something. If everything don't hit the mark, we understand, but maybe it'll inspire you to
Yeah.
do something that you could put your own spin on what we gave, or at least open your mind. So even if you're not there yet, please share this information, bring somebody in, and just be in the crowd, and you just might learn something that you can use later on.
Yes. Yes. Thank you guys so much. God bless you all and have a wonderful night.
Have a wonderful night, and we'll see you guys next week. Take care. Be safe. Bye bye.